Hello everybody. Dan, Captain Dan, Captain Destiny, Captain Destiny, me. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of Static Online, because it's all we do. Or is it all we do? Yeah, of course it's all we do. Now, I admit this was going to be a nice casual session. You know, drinks. It's still daytime, admittedly, but you know, just thought casual it up a bit. Got the our drink, our JD and Coke, or JD and Pepsi Max premium taste. Not sponsored. And it's taken about 2 glasses to get set up, so you know, cut me a bit of slack, please. Thank you. So you might be wondering why the light cruiser. It's a good question. Okay. Well, it's not actually meant to be the light cruiser. That was a sign of poor preparedness. We are going to be using today the Intoxia Paradox Dreadnought Tier 6. It's the science vessel, and I love science vessels. I'm a science character, but I like doing damage too. I need a hard-hitting vessel, and this works with both. The setup we're going to be using is anti-proton. It's going to be nice and epic, as much damage as we could afford. And then maxed out Kobali, because I don't really have the commitment to get many full sets, but the Kobali represented an easy one to get. And I use the Phoenix packs. There we go, to level those up. And you're wondering, well, why haven't you leveled these up? Are they not worth it? Yeah, they probably are. But again, dwindling commitment. You might notice in my inventory there's a couple of ships as well, and this is like a little sneak preview to those of you who are actually watching this. Yeah, there's going to be another giveaway. I mean, I got these to give away about a month ago, maybe more than a month, and I just didn't have the time. But that will happen. That will happen. Maybe, yeah, you comment on this, and I'll include you twice or something. You know, just let me know. Just let me know. But yeah, let's just get right into it. What should we do? Okay, we're gonna do what people do. Everyone does crystalline catastrophe. So we'll do that because it should be the minimal queue time. I don't know what's going on here. Moderate success, story of my life. Okay. Oh, we're damaged. I am so sorry. You're probably judging me. Dan, you should have set up Destiny. You should have set it up better for this. Yeah, I agree. I am so sorry. Don't hold it against me. Let's release some shuttles ready for when we get. That doesn't work. Alright, here we go. Get our battle heads on. I want to do a nice little montage number with this PvE. Gonna be some music. Gonna be some voiceover. Maybe a rap over. No. Yeah, it could work. We'll see how that turns out. We'll give it a bash. If you don't hear that in the video, it's because I couldn't be bothered doing it, or I fell asleep before it happened. But you know, you might. Let battle commence. You want to launch all the shuttles because they're going to do most of the damage for us, because we're not piloting very well. Yeah, I want to push these buttons. These look nice and glowy. How are we doing? Are we close enough? 5 kilometers, that's pretty close. It's like half of the distance we have to be to shoot at them. Lots of colours going on. Some bright colours. Ooh. It looks really shiny on my screen. Oh my god. Well, more shuttles. We've got more shuttles. Get them Delta Flies out there. And we don't want this thing to shoot us, so we'll press this. This will sort out our shields for us, although admittedly they're looking pretty good already. Absorbing. Oh yeah, there's a thing that's going to happen, of course, the thing. We've got to move out of range of the thing, but we don't need to, because we tanks. We can handle that, and we're just gonna brace for impact, both figuratively and console. No, not console. Ability. Oh, shit. It's down 50%. Oh, too fast. Pardon me. We're nearly done. 38%. We got another thing coming in. We got to dodge this thing. How's everyone doing with the things? Are we meeting the optionals? We're doing it. Which way are we facing? Cool. Oh, great. There's a lot of Tholian ships around here. I wonder if Tholians get high with people meth. That's a too-late joke there. Oh, and we did it. Oh, we got first place. Oh, I'm so proud of me. I'm proud of us. You were part of this journey. Oh, we made first place, drunk. That's a... Oh, no, not drunk. We made first place. I'm proud of us. The A-team. The A-team. Okay, let's toast to that. To unfair... Moderate success. To moderate success. There we go. Alright, we've had a little interval, and we have decided to opt for the Invisibrew, as I called it. I can't remember why I called it the Invisibrew. I think it might have been this thing that made it go Invisibrew. But it is a Jem'Hadar Dreadnought carrier, and we're going to attempt a different mission, a slightly longer one. Why am I talking fancy? We're going to do a slightly longer one. Let's have a look. Why is there only 5? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I'm a huge fan of Infected Conduit, but we're going to try Fleet. In fact, you know what? I'm unhappy with my choice. We're changing it again. We're changing our choice. I'm going to go for the... Where is it? I know it's here. The Jem'Hadar attack ship. There we are. So let's warp out and warp back in. Oh my god. The hell was that? Ooh, I want to spend my low... Nope, now's not the time. What am I doing? Alright. This is not very geared. Oh, for God's sake. We'll be right back. I can say anything I want in this transition because it's not going in the video. Unless I forget to edit it. Our battle plan will be warp in. Fire, fly around a little bit, fire some more, empty our torpedo, we don't have torpedoes, empty our phaser, no, the banks are in it. We're going to fly around quite a bit and press space a lot of times, and then possibly click a few times, and just at a push we might use the 1, 2, 3s a little bit, and then we're going to warp out, and it's going to be like we were never there. It's going to be all sneaky, yeah, the enemies are going to be dead, we're going to be very dead. But, you know, that's what they get for crossing us. Pesky Nausicans. Oh, we can change! Right, let's just play it safe. I know a ship that has got a setup is the USS Never Here. Because, you get it, it's going back in time. So it was never there in the first place. It's clever. It's so many levels. That's the thing about me, I've got levels. I'm not like ogres, I don't have layers, I have levels. I'm like a wedding cake. And I mean, everyone loves wedding cake. On this one, we've got a different kind of anti-proton beam. This one, I believe I chose because it was red. And this is just a beauty. It's a torpedo that does anti-proton. It's a total beaut. Should have really leveled it up. And I believe everyone at the time was using a kinetic cutting beam. And I don't know why I've not got another science console here. What have we not got? Let's chuck this bad boy on. Sorry, this is really on-the-fly setup. You probably had higher standards of me. Who am I kidding? You're not watching this all. And why did it go straight into my inventory? That's dodgy. Okay, we're going to queue. Infected the conduit. It looks like nobody's queuing for that. So just to make sure we're getting something. There's that thing again. Right, we're going to do fleet alert. And then we've got options. Yeah, that's not bad. No one does that. I'm talking out of my arse. Oh well, I mean, if you're still here, then it's on you. You know what you're getting yourself into. Let's talk Star Trek. So, little known fact about me: I'm a scientist, and what I mean is I do science. But I'm not just kidding there. I actually study science, and I do a lot of physics. And I was looking into how the warp drive actually works. So. You're about to get a... I I don't want to self-identify as drunk. You're going to get an interesting explanation about how warp drive works. Okay, so there's this cool thing that happens in space, right? Well, not just in space, it happens almost anywhere, but mostly in space, because most of everywhere is space. But I mean, how big is everywhere? Oh, it looks like we're doing Fleet Alert, by the way, so, you know, mentally prepare for that. I'm going to be doing a lot of flying around, a lot of this clicking. I'm sorry, I can't make it any quieter. Although I've got to admit, this keyboard is really cool because it lights up such that my function keys represent my percentage health, my arrow keys represent my shield health, and the rest of the keys are like the colour of the alert, like we're on no alert at the moment. When we go to red alert, when we're in battle, it goes red. I could show you, but that'd mean literally moving you right now, and you don't want that. So, what was I saying? So, an interesting explanation of what... See, I told you it was going to be Nauticans. I'm psychic, I'm bloody psychic. Those aren't... Those are Orion. Or Orion. There's something that isn't Nautican anyway, and that's the point. We found out today that we could be wrong. What a humbling mission. Alright, so the thing with warp drive is you're not actually moving, which enables you to break the speed of light, because the speed of light is kind of like a cosmic limit to your speed, cosmic speed limit. And to go faster than it would be breaking the laws of physics. So you can't move faster than it, and that's how we conserve the laws of physics. What actually happens is you bend space around you. A cool way to think of it is if you ever have like a ball on a blanket and you kind of put a ripple in a blanket and then flick it up, and like the roll, it kind of spreads from one side of the bed to the other, you know, it kind of flips up and down. And then the ball gets moved along the blanket or the bed or whatever you've used. Now, the ball hasn't technically moved, it's the bed that's moved around it, but the ball has gotten from one side of the bed to the other. So that's basically what's happening with space. We're bending space. But I mean, that sounds absolutely crazy, right? Well, you can't bend space, you can't even touch it. It depends how tall you are. So, how do we bend it, you're wondering? Well, there's a nifty effect called the Casimir effect. But before we get into that, let's talk about particles. But like sexy particles. I'm talking particles that are identical to each other, like twins. Okay, and we all have a bit of twins, don't we? I'm gonna need a drink. So, these two identical particles, alright? But they're equal and opposites. What does that mean? So you've got one that's blonde and one that's got black hair, or one that's a ginger and one that doesn't like eating souls. And they're called antiparticles. If you're a little bit of a scientist and you want to know what that means, it means their quarks are opposites. So if it was a proton, where you've got up, up, down, it becomes anti-up, anti-up, anti-down. That's what an antiparticle is anyway, so that would be an antiproton. So when an antiproton hits a proton, they annihilate each other, which is actually the topic of a Star Trek episode, where someone is trying to destroy the universe by running into his anti-particle counterpart from another universe. Oh, that was an interesting one. And then they got stuck together for eternity. That was actually really dark. Yeah, that was the original series anyway. But they hit each other and lots of energy is released. And that energy floats about space until all of a sudden the energy turns back into two particles that are equal and opposite. That's called pair production and annihilation. And we're really cracking on with this mission, aren't we? I hope I get this explanation done before the end. Haha, jokes, you're not listening, you've muted me. Well, I don't care, I'm entertaining myself. That's actually not right, I want to entertain more. My morals are conflicted, forgive me. Anyway, so this happens in a certain space. So let's imagine you've got two walls really close together, and the gap between the two walls is smaller than the particles. That means no particles can happen in the middle, which means there can be no pair production and annihilation between them, because the particles can't fit. It's like trying to push a football in between two very close pieces of wood. It's not going to happen. So that means there is less energy there than the rest of space around it, which means relative to space it has negative energy. And what that means is we can put all the negative energy behind a thing and then make the energy in front of it really positive, and that creates a kind of field. It would essentially be a warp field because we're warping the space, and then we increase and decrease the amounts of negative and positive energy behind it to create the ripple, which then pushes it along like the bed. And that is how warp drive works inside one lesson. Well, no, one lesson, one mission. Disclaimer, we can't do it yet. And that was perfect. What timing. God, we're really accumulating fleet marks here. See what time, bro? 5 o'clock. This one with a roll thing seems new. It used to only pop up in the chat. Anyway, there you go. On to the next one, if we get there. I'll bite. I owe you all a song. And I'm a man of my word. Star trekking across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe, only going forward cause we can't find reverse. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, Jim. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Not as we know it. Not as we know it. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Not as we know it, Captain. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, Jim. Star trekking across the universe under Starship Enterprise, under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe, only going forward, we still can't find reverse. It's worse than that, he's dead, Jim, dead, Jim, dead, Jim. It's worse than that, he's dead, Jim, dead, Jim, dead. Ah, we come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. We come in peace, shoot to kill, man. There's I'm so sorry, please don't judge me. The lyrics are on screen, please be my guest. Oh god, it's getting faster here. Oh my god. Star trekking across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe. Can he change the laws of physics, laws of physics, laws of physics? Can he change the laws of physics, Jim? We come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. We come in peace, shoot to kill. Scotty, beam me up. It's worse than that, he's dead, Jim, dead, Jim, dead, Jim. It's worse than that, he's dead, Jim, dead, Jim, dead. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it, not as we know it, not as we know it. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it, not as we know it, Captain. There's Klingons on the starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's Klingons on the starboard bow. Better calm down. Fuck, I'm done. You owe me one.